Hi, we're the Rayfields.
Are you guys ready for the longest chewing chat? Possibly longest chewing chat. I think it's going to be over an hour on this one.
I think so. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get in it over some 1824 chicken and a lot of stuff. Let's get into it.
So, what do we have here? There's obviously a whole spread. So there's some bread. Everybody knows what bread is. What's here? What's this?
I'm so tempted to say this is chicken and waffles, but it's not. It's fried chicken and something called mush.
Mush?
Which it's called mush. M-U-S-H.
Like a dog said. Mush! Mush!
That's mushy. It's mush.
Okay.
It's a super simple, gluten-free, American as it gets recipe. This is actually very popular in the South, but people still eat it around here, and I know that the Amish eat this for breakfast frequently. This is a breakfast dish.
Interesting. Well,
I love it.
I'm going to try it. I haven't tried it yet.
I love it. And you know, even though the historic recipe doesn't say to eat it like that, we have maple syrup here because this mush tastes real good with maple syrup.
All right.
And then we have asparagus over here, staying hot. Now, the reason we chose all this today is because Ron and I just very recently got married.
Ding.
And we just got back from our honeymoon. We were in Virginia for our honeymoon. A full 2 weeks. We miss you guys.
Yes.
So everything is inspired by Virginia cooking.
Awesome.
This is from the Virginia Housewife,
yes,
published in 1824. The asparagus is my own creation. It's just asparagus, but the Virginia Housewife did have some recipes for asparagus in it. And then in front of the fire, staying warm, I have some grilled apples. Actually, no, they're roasted apples, not grilled. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna review it.
Yes, and like I said, we just got married, so we're gonna take this at steps at a time. So it's gonna be possibly the longest chit chat ever. We're gonna do the food. Then we're going to get into the wedding, then we're going to get into the honeymoon, and then we're going to get into...
all the stuff we got...
yeah, random stuff.
...during the honeymoon. Or at least some of it.
Antique...
purchases
and stuff like that.
That's right.
Would you like some chicken?
I'll take a piece of chicken.
Chicken.
But mainly I want the mush.
Let's see, any legs left? I'll take this.
Okay.
Take a roll.
I want some mush, and I want some... of this.
Looks like a little flattened Twinkie.
It does kind of look like a little flattened Twinkie. To me, it just tastes like a hoe cake, which is another American invention. It's like a cornmeal pancake. But this has no flour in it. Okay, I see that you put the maple syrup on it already.
Yeah, I figured why not.
Oh, this is so good for breakfast. Not the fried chicken. You'll die at 25 from clogged arteries. But the mush... oh, you want more?
No, asparagus, please.
Okay. Mush with the maple syrup on it. Oh, that's so hot.
Is it hot?
It's so hot.
Ah!
Ron, that is really hot.
It is pretty hot, I'm not going to lie. Okay, that's enough. All right, put it down. That's hot.
Woo, okay.
Yeah.
Well then, we'll get into this meal. We'll review it for you guys.
Yes. So allow us to say grace for this meal, and we'll start reviewing it. Dear Lord, thank you for all the wonderful people that have sent their best wishes to us and made the journey to our wedding and made our wedding a very special day for us to remember, and we hope that they had an amazing time, because I know we did too. The food was great, the people were great, and the weather was even greater. Thank you for everything that you've given Justine and I. Thank you for getting us back home safely from our honeymoon and letting us be able to be here with our friends. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ron.
That was a long one.
Yeah, thank you, Ron.
Here we go.
I've already tried everything here, so I mainly just kind of want to try this with maple syrup.
It's hot in here.
It is very hot in here. It's 90 degrees out, and I think it's probably at least 100 in the cabin, because we're sitting in front of a fireplace out.
It's very humid.
It's very humid.
It's been raining on and off today.
That's good. If you can't eat gluten, you need to try mush.
The only thing I've tried so far is asparagus, and it's amazing.
Oh, well, thank you, because it's like the most simple recipe.
I need a minute. I gotta get my sleeves full. I'm dying over here. I don't know what I was thinking by leaving my sleeves down on a hot summer day in the cabin.
Basically, this entire channel is you guys watching us suffer.
Yes.
In a very hot room.
It's entertainment.
Right.
Cheap entertainment.
It's free.
Will Ron pass out today? Will Ron eat the entire plate of cookies today? Look at his face dripping. Every time his face drips, take a drink. I'm sure there's games out there. Alright, I'm going in for this mush thing.
Every time they get heat stroke, take a drink.
I thought it was really good.
It's really good.
I like the little crust it's got on the outside.
I love it too.
I don't know how to describe it. It's nothing like a waffle. It's not like a pancake. It's its own thing, but it's really good. It's just as enjoyable as a pancake.
Right. It's the same experience as a pancake.
But more crusty on the outside. It's more crust.
Right.
Like a cornmeal pancake that's just a little more overdone than a normal fluffy flour pancake.
But the inside is not overdone at all.
No, it's soft.
Yeah, it's soft.
The outside, though, to create the textures I'm explaining.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's good.
That's good. And you know, the original recipe, or receipt as they used to call it from 1824, said to serve the fried chicken with mush that was fried in butter, just like people do today.
Very good.
Now, normally we'd be eating this with gravy, right?
Right. Apparently there's something wrong with our gravy.
There's something wrong with our gravy. I would not take a big bite like that. Are you insane?
Okay, I smell it. You smell it?
Yeah, there's something wrong with it. There's not something wrong with our gravy. There's something wrong with our pipkin.
We're wondering if the finish, something's up with the finish.
Something's up with this. It stinks from here.
Yeah, it's come off into the... This is the first time we've cooked in it.
We got this from Colonial Williamsburg. I'm absolutely in love with the look of it, first of all. It's the cutest pipkin ever. Now, pipkins, they were used in the 18th and early 19th century for heating up stuff. It's earthenware. It's made out of clay, I guess you could say. And you put it near the fire, but you don't put it directly in the fire because if it gets too hot, it'll crack.
Right.
So you just put it next to the fire. But the problem with it is when I went to have a taste of it, it has a very weird flavor. It tastes kind of perfumey and chemical-y. And I think something in the glaze got in our food.
It might have.
Yeah, because there's nothing... It's just milk, parsley, salt, and pepper. It shouldn't be tasting like this. I mean, this tastes like shampoo. There's some weird chemical thing going on in here, and I'm worried that this might not be food grade.
Yeah, it might not be. I did, off camera, I did try a little bite of that when she first mentioned it after we filmed her trying it on the Early American, which, by the way, if you want to see Justine make all this, please go over to our main channel. It's Early American. Over there, we cook it.
Here we eat it.
Here we eat it.
We're attempting to.
We're not going to eat the gravy.
No, it tastes horrible.
There's something up with it.
It tastes like I should be putting it in my hair right now, washing my hair with it. It tastes really nasty. And I can actually smell the chemicals from over here. There's definitely something weird about it. Okay, bye, gravy.
You know what's not nasty is this chicken. This chicken's good.
Yeah, the original receipt said to serve it with the gravy, and it gave the instructions for how to make that gravy. So it was a 3-in-1 receipt, but no gravy today.
No gravy.
But I'm just so amazed at how something that's 200 years old, exactly 200 years old, because it's 2024 right now.
You're right.
Yeah, is so modern. This is like fried chicken and waffles.
Fried chicken and waffles.
Except instead of waffles, we have mush.
Now, this isn't the first time I've done fried chicken on the show.
Oh, no.
Fried chicken comes from Scotland.
Origins. It is. It's originally a Scottish dish. I mean, the history of fried chicken goes back before the discovery of Europeans of America, you know. So fried chicken is a very old dish.
And it may even be older than that, to be honest with you. I mean, you think 1,000 years ago somebody had chicken and they thought, let me fry
Yeah, it might
It's so
not.
simple.
Yeah, I mean, the Scotch were the first to write it down, but you're right.
True.
I'm sure that someone somewhere in times where people didn't write things down, probably fried chicken.
That's true.
It's just a very old dish. I mean, and you're right, we have made fried chicken on the channel before. Never this one.
Never this one, no.
Never this receipt.
Very good though. It's so simple. It's just dredge it in flour. There's no, you don't have to dip it into egg and milk and flour.
Now, I will say the other one that we made on the channel was way better.
What are you talking about? This is pretty good.
This is pretty good, but this is very simple.
Okay.
It's just salt and flour.
I like it.
The other one had a whole complex arrangement of spices and flavorings and lemon.
Ooh.
But this one it's pretty bland. It's like meh, you know, but not all recipes are good today and 200 years ago.
That's just true.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't get over how modern this feels.
I might have me another one of those mush things.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken's good, but I think we're just gonna go in for the mush.
It's hard to resist the mush. Thank you.
That sounds so weird when we say it.
Give me some mush.
It's hard to resist the mush.
The asparagus is delicious too.
Thank you.
Now, we ate asparagus fresh off the stem, yes please, at Mount Vernon on our honeymoon.
We did. We need to get into talking about our wedding. Oh, but first, let's review this.
Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. Alright, these little mush things, mush cakes, I'm giving these an 8 out of 10.
Well, thank you.
The asparagus gets a 9 out of 10.
Now, those were both my own recipe.
Oh, this is the mush ain't a historic recipe?
Well, it is historic.
I've been fooled.
It is historic, but the receipt didn't give instructions for how to make it. It just said serve with mush, fried in butter.
Okay.
Now, me, having spent a couple years living in good old Virginia.
Yes, you are from Virginia.
Well, sorta. I'm kind of from everywhere.
That's just true.
But I did spend some years in Charlottesville. I knew what mush was. Well, and so I just made it.
I'm holding to it. 8 for the mush, 9 for the asparagus. I would give 7 to the chicken.
That's fair.
Only because they're little bitty pieces. Because they're Cornish hens.
Yeah, we try to use Cornish hens on the show. Just because sometimes chickens back then were smaller than modern day chickens. I do still have people that come all the time and they say, that chicken looks way too big for an 18th century chicken. I'm just thinking, how emaciated did you think chickens were back then? This is a Cornish hen. They're only about this big. They didn't get really too much smaller than that.
And then the gravy, I'm giving
a 0.
I'll give it a 1. It looked pretty.
If it wasn't for the pipkin, I think it would have been decently very good milk gravy. Which again seems so modern to me to serve over fried chicken. I just can't wrap my mind over it.
That's a classic.
Us it's traditional American food.
Comfort food.
This is traditional American food.
Alright, let's get into the wedding stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Did you give your rating?
No, but
I'm so excited to talk about the wedding. You concur with my ratings?
I concur. I think the mush is the best thing on the table.
It is.
Which is weird because it isn't even the star of the show today. Just a side dish. But I really like it. Yeah, it's the sidekick, but just like in Batman and Robin was the better looking guy. So it's the sidekick that saves the day.
I thought Catwoman was the best looking. But anyways, moving on to the wedding.
Oh, yes.
So, sun comes up, the birds chirping, beautiful day, it's 75 degrees, blue sky, white clouds, a lot of beautiful dressed people showed up. It was amazing. Everything went pretty much according to plan.
It did. Weather was great.
There was plenty of food thanks to my mom and Michael and his mom and everybody else who brought food. But
it was a potluck.
It was a potluck, but there were some staple items there that my mom and Michael took care of to do the bulk of it. Oh, you need some water? So, big thank you to them guys and to everybody else who pitched in and helped out. A lot of our friends just dove in and started helping where help was needed, which was awesome. And I got to give a quick shout out to our good friend Peter Kelly and his lovely wife Kathy from the Woodland Escape channel here on YouTube. If you haven't heard of them, please check them out. They came down, spent the weekend with us, helped us set up chairs, tear down chairs, a little bit of everything.
Amazing. They helped us as much as a family member would help.
Absolutely.
And he's from Canada.
He came all the way from Canada.
All the way from Canada to help us out.
Very nice people. Very nice.
And go over to their channel, by the way, The Woodland Escape, because a couple of days ago they put out a video where we both were in it. It was our first collaboration.
Yep. It was about their journey here to Missouri to see the wedding and some other things around St. Genevieve, and went horseback riding. That was fun. Mm-hmm. Also, big thanks to the Sampson historical family that came to the wedding.
Yes. They gifted us this beautiful picture.
They're always great to hang out with. And I gotta say, a big thank you to one of my good buddies, Arthur, in real life. We're actually really good friends. We're not enemies like we're on the show. But his two beautiful little girls were the flower girls. And we were very grateful for him to loan them out to us for the day.
Now, you've been so positive. But every wedding has a negative.
It was a little hot.
No, here's what happened. Here's the story. Okay, so our entire wedding...
You did forget your socks.
Yeah, I did forget my socks. The entire wedding and the entire honeymoon was filmed by Believe Plus, which we're going to link in the description below. They're making a 2-hour-long documentary about our wedding called My Big Fat 18th Century Wedding. Follows us all the way to Virginia and all that we did, including us going through antique shops and all that, but they caught all this on camera. But anyway, what happened was we were supposed to have a horse carriage at our wedding, which, by the way, was this guy's idea.
Yeah. It'd be cool, right?
It would be cool. It'd be super sweet. So the horse carriage was supposed to drop me off in front of the aisle, and I majestically descend down the aisle. Oh, everyone's looking. Wow, what a princess moment. And then moments earlier, Ron rides his horse down the aisle. Okay, only one problem. Apparently, the horse carriage guy broke down on his way to our wedding and did not bother to call us. So here we are, like 15 minutes before I'm set to walk down the aisle. There's no horse carriage. I'm super confused what's going on because the bride is kind of tucked away from things. She's hidden so that people don't see her. I'm at an Airbnb that's about a 10-minute walk down the street, and I don't know what's going on. So I asked the Believe Plus crew, who we become good friends, and they called the guy, and he says, yeah, I'm broken down in Festus, and I don't know if I can make it, but if I do, I think I'll make it maybe an hour from now. Now, Festus is a town that's about 30 minutes from us. I wish the guy had bothered to call us before this. So anyway.
Yeah, very strange that you would wait an hour to, if you're actually booked to come to an event. If you're broken down the highway and you're half hour away, with the horse, you're probably going to get there an hour ahead of time. So he had all this time to call, but also I have a hard time imagining somebody would run their business that poorly. So was he booked? Was he not? I don't know. Was it TV drama in the making? We'll never know. But
we don't know.
But anyways, we didn't freak out. They were ready for it. The cameras were there, and the questions were asked. It's like, no, we're good.
Yeah. So the Believe Plus crew, they asked me, Justine, dun dun dun.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You have 15 minutes left before you walk down the aisle. Now, I'm half Assyrian, which is a group of people, it's a Christian minority group from the Middle East. We have our own wedding traditions. So here they are outside of my Airbnb playing the music. It's an Assyrian wedding tradition where they play music outside of the house where the bride lives, and it's supposed to summon out the bride, and that's supposed to be the last time that she leaves her parents' house. Now, instead we did an Airbnb instead of my parents' house.
Because it's an hour away.
Yeah, because my parents' house is really far away. But, so here I am in the Airbnb, and outside all you hear is... And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what do I do? Do I just awkwardly walk there? In my full bridal train and everything. It's a 10-minute walk on the sidewalk in the middle of downtown. So I just calmly think for about 30 seconds. Of course, my mouth was like... And I say, I'm going to walk. I'm not gonna let people sit out in the sun for a whole hour.
It was a beautiful day, but it was sunny.
It was very sunny.
Yes.
Not only that, but I want to operate a tight ship here, and I don't want people to get upset because we're waiting an extra hour. So I say we're gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk. So
she gone. So
I leave the Airbnb, and my best friend Anna is behind me. We're all in 18th century clothes. She's holding up my train, and we literally just walk down the sidewalk, walking by all these restaurants and the public restroom.
And I'm like 200 yards down the street, a couple blocks, and I can hear the Zorma, which is the Middle Eastern. It looks like an oboe, goes out straight. And you play it like this, or a clarinet. Very high-pitched clarinet. And the drums beating. I was like, oh my gosh, she's got a whole parade coming.
So you could hear me coming from that
far
away.
Everybody heard you.
That's pretty cool, to be honest.
The whole entourage coming this way.
Yep, so they're behind me. By the way, it's my uncle and my cousin playing the music. And they're walking behind me, and there's like maybe 10 people behind me, my family from my mom's side, and I'm just having like my own little parade through town, walking around in my wedding clothes, and everyone gets out of the store to look at me. What's going on here?
St. John didn't know what was happening.
No, St. John didn't. They just got culturally enriched that day.
Yes.
So I walk over there, and even though I was supposed to ride a horse majestically up there, but it all worked out. We showed up exactly on time.
Right.
And I'm happy that I did it like that. I'm happy. And the Believe Plus crew, they caught it all. That documentary is going to come out the 4th of July, 2024. So go to their website, because that's where you can see it. It will not be available on YouTube. It's their own production, so they're in control of that. I'm excited to see it. We haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it yet.
No, we haven't seen it.
There is a trailer that you posted a week or two ago. But there's things that they filmed that I haven't seen because I obviously wasn't where she was getting ready, or you can't be everywhere where the camera is. And the camera went off from us and went on to some other people too to, get other people's point of view. So I'm excited to see what they've got.
I'm excited too.
You're excited to see what the things that I've seen that you didn't see when I was at the other location.
Right, and vice versa.
Which is where all the food was going on and all that stuff, because I was hanging out getting dressed at the same area that the reception was going to be in, so we were busy doing that. While you were down a couple blocks down the road.
It was a very good wedding, though.
It was fun.
It was good.
The food was delicious. There was plenty of food.
Of course, that's all he's talking about is the food. You think a wedding's just about food, Ron?
No, but it's a very important key factor of it. Just like the cake. The cake was delicious. I'll be honest. We've made that cake like 3 different ways, 3 different times before the wedding, trying to get it just right or whatever, but we always end up, dang it, we forgot to do this.
We forgot the cloves. We forgot the nutmeg.
Finally, the main event, the cake for the wedding, actually, we finally remembered all the ingredients and did the correct amounts, and it was the best out of all the versions of the cake that I've ate in week prior to that.
It's a 200-year-old wedding cake recipe, which is actually pretty rare because in the early 1800s they were called bridal cakes. They weren't usually called wedding cakes yet.
Right.
They were called bride's cakes, or they were
christening cake.
That's something else. That's when a baby gets baptized.
Never mind.
I think. So it could have been a christening cake or a wedding cake, but
or a great cake.
Or it's a great cake because it's a big cake. It was good. It was heavy. It was very, very expensive.
It was delicious. So.
It was the most expensive historic dish we've ever made.
Yeah.
It was a couple $100 in just ingredients for that wedding cake because there was so much fruit and brandy in it.
Yes.
And specialty fruit like candied citron and candied lemon peel. Things you can't usually just pop to the store and get.
We had a special order of some of these items to get them in bulk.
To get them in bulk.
But it was amazing. Everybody loved the cake that I talked to. We put a printout of the receipt right there next to it so people could see what was in it. And, you could read the receipt, how to make it. And it was fun.
Yeah, I made it with Ron's sister, Brittany.
Yeah, that was filmed too. The film crew filmed that, so that'll be on the documentary.
At our house.
We have a few pictures that we can show right now, but we don't have any footage of it. We let them do all the filming.
Yeah. But it turned out very, very good. And yes, we do have a piece of it saved that we will eat 1 year from now, as is the tradition.
It will be nasty and stale, but whatever. It's cake, I'll eat it.
That's our wedding cake topper.
Yep.
So Ron, you got that for what? $5 from an antique store, and you painted it.
I think it was $3.
$3. It's even better, and he painted it to look like our clothes.
Yep.
Did a very good job.
I almost had to change the color of the jacket, but it all worked out.
Oh yeah. If you've been following my community posts, you've heard about Ron's jacket fiasco. It got fixed like 2 days before the wedding.
It was fixed enough. Let's put it that way.
He had to fix it. The lady fixed half of it, and he did the rest.
Yeah. But anyways, it was a success. We'll remember it forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of photos. We haven't even seen all the photos yet because a lot of people, take them with their phones. They forget about them for a week. Then we have to say, hey, weren't you at the wedding? Oh, yeah, let me send you the photos. So there's all kinds of photos to see.
We did not have a wedding photographer, but our friends just casually took pictures, and that's enough for us.
Yeah.
We have a video, the documentary,
yeah.
so
plenty of video, and we do have a couple of nice photos, but that's okay. We own the clothes. We can always get dressed up and go to the park and take our picture next week, and you'd never know.
That's
Except
true.
the fact I just told you. But...
That's true. It was I believe, a 1780s wedding ceremony.
Yeah, I think it was 1788 or 89. I don't remember exactly, but it was quite period correct with the wording.
Because it literally was. So our preacher that married us, his name is Geoff Bagget. He's an author. You can find his books on Amazon.
And he's on YouTube now, too.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know what his name, his channel is, but...
We'll put it in the description, too. How about that?
Yeah.
So he is in real life, he's ordained, but he also reenacts as an 18th century preacher. Mm-hmm. And he was our preacher for a ceremony. He found an actual wedding dialogue from the 1780s. So our ceremony was that exact wordage, word for word. It was, thee and they, do you take thee as thy lawful wedded wife?
And thy troth, whatever that means.
I troth my beloved, it sounds like Shakespeare.
I will share my troth with you.
Not that troth.
Oh, well, I don't know what he meant, but I repeated it.
Yeah,
I meant it.
I don't know what he said, but I meant it.
I just said yes when I was told to say yes.
That's right. It was a very good wedding.
The only adaptation that we made to it was the ring for me, because back then only the woman got the ring. This wasn't until the 20th century, early 20th century, that men started getting rings on a regular basis, and this was a 1780s ceremony, so it had to be adapted. But that was easy. You just repeated the things for me like you did for her. So
2 random wedding facts for you, historical wedding facts. Men did not used to wear wedding rings until about World War II. Another wedding fact is that women did not necessarily wear white to their wedding until the mid-1800s. If you would have just worn your favorite, best, or new dress on your wedding day, could have been red, could have been blue, could have been purple, could have been yellow.
It could have been white.
It could have been white, just coincidentally. It could have been white. Now, I know for royals, silver was a very popular color, but that's very expensive. No one does that silver thread. But yeah, it didn't necessarily have to be white.
Right. You just wear your cleanest dress.
Yep, your cleanest clothes. That goes for the groom, too. There wasn't a dress code. You just wore your best outfit.
I bet white ended up being the norm because it looks pure.
That is it, actually.
It's not dingy looking.
That's it. I hate it when people say Queen Victoria popularized this, because in reality, most of the time, it was already popular before Queen Victoria did it, like the whole Christmas tree thing. But I will give Queen Victoria credit on this. Queen Victoria, she got married in a white dress. That made white kind of the standard after that. Although by that time period, white was already one of the most common wedding dress colors. But she made it so that it was so popular that now everyone wears white to their wedding, unless you're a goth and you want to wear black, which is cool too.
So you guys know I'm a wedding photographer. I actually did do a Halloween wedding once. And they didn't do that.
Oh.
They totally missed they did the decorations for Halloween, but they wore normal colors, like it was purple and it was blue and a white dress, and it was like, okay, you totally missed the mark on that. They have it on Halloween, October 31st. You got all the decorations, like at the reception, but the ceremony was just a standard. Oh. Totally missed the mark.
Oh my gosh.
I was angry.
I would have walked out in protest.
I refuse to film this wedding unless it's Halloween Halloweeny.
Beetlejuicy.
It needs to be Halloweeny.
It does need to be Halloweeny. Man, I wish it was fall.
I know, it's just so hot. Speaking of fall, wait a minute, we still got more stuff to eat.
We do, and it does make me think of fall.
Yeah.
Roasted apples.
Oh.
Be careful, there's juice in there.
That's a little warm.
Okay.
So, we recently just purchased this thing.
At the fort a couple days ago.
Yes, at the 54th Rendezvous. Well, we gotta get the apples out.
Oh, that's true, we do.
So, I'm gonna take this one.
It is kind of hard to get the apples out. Be careful.
That was easy, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. Well, you're just better than everybody. Thank you, Ron. Perfect.
Would you like some of this yummy juice?
Sure. Pour it right on top of there.
Pour some sugar.
On me.
Some sugar water.
This is a apple roaster.
Actually, this is butter and brown sugar. Brown sugar.
It's made out of tin. We got it from a tinsmith at the fort. The 54th Rendezvous was just a couple days ago.
Yep.
We always go to it. Marked the end of our honeymoon.
Yes.
And now we're back home.
Oh, this looks divine.
Can you guys see anything over this giant roaster?
Probably not. Careful.
Maybe okay.
Let me just put it back down.
I'll just put it over here.
Okay, so while we're hop, skipping, and jumping around here, I'm going to keep hop, skipping, and jumping around. Speaking of giant, this giant thing here...
Oh, that's related to the wedding.
...was made by one of our members in the St. John Militia.
Can you see it?
It's right here. Let me get that straight.
What the heck is it, you're probably wondering?
It has legs on it.
It spins.
It spins. It's an adjustable candle lamp.
Oh, I went absolutely insane when I saw this at our wedding gift table.
Yes.
Someone made this for us. A good friend.
David Forrest.
That's right. I've been wanting one of these for literally years. When I first saw one...
No! My bad. It's okay.
I've been wanting one of these for years, and I will continue to want one for years, apparently, because you broke it.
I did not break it.
Okay,
it's
good.
Fine.
So
it has 3 legs, so it's... You gotta put it just right on this uneven floor that I built, because I didn't do a good job.
You're okay.
Okay, it's good.
But I've been wanting one of these since I first saw one at the Bolduc House, which is the house that we work at in town in St. Genevieve.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the 18th century. So these are period correct. These are something you would have found in the 18th century, maybe till about 1850 or so, and then they started to look a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an adjustable candle stand. Why would you want something like that? Let's say you have a chair pulled up next to it and you're reading a book,
yeah.
and it's a little dark. You spin it down, and then the candles are lowered. Maybe you're a little bit of a taller person, and you're sewing. You're sitting next to it. You spin it up. It's adjustable. It's amazing. Call now. Get one free.
And it goes this way and that way. Really cool.
Yep, it's adjustable. You just push it, and it goes up and down the spirals.
He made everything. He turned, or what do I say? He cut the threads on this, which is really cool to do. He cut the threads for this to go. He made everything. He made the pedestal on the lathe, and
it's amazing.
I don't know what to say. It's amazing, and he's very talented.
And
it's made of walnut.
Oh, what's crazy is I lost an auction for one of those things just a week before our wedding.
I know. I was really hoping you were going to lose it because I knew the whole time this thing was coming.
Oh, you two were conspiring because you knew I really wanted one.
Mm-hmm. I was showing them pictures of the one after the bolty.
Well, now my life goal is complete.
That is what?
No.
I don't think it is.
No, I still want 100 acres and goats. So what do you think about the roast apples?
10 out of 10.
Oh,
It's amazing. I'm also wondering why it's 100 degrees in here because I feel like I'm in October eating this. The cinnamon, the brown sugar, the apples, and the butter.
This may not be the most
It's definitely not
correct
summertime.
for June.
But it's reminding me of fall, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But I really wanted to show off my new apple roaster. And I have some other things I kind of want to show off.
The pecans are good too.
Oh, by the way, these dolls here, they're not haunted, I swear, I think. Peter Kelly gave this to us as a wedding present.
Yep, Peter and his wife.
Yeah, Peter and Kathy. Love them. They were made in St. John.
Yep, they're a little French Voyager and a French lady.
We keep on trying to think of the name. I thought Hansel and Gretel, but every time
They're not German.
They're French, technically.
Maybe we'll put up a poll on the community, and you guys can choose some names from. He's even got a little breechcloth here.
Don't lift it up. There's children in the room. Give me a name. Nice to meet you.
How do you do? Okay, now you're scaring people with them. Don't get syrup on him. Oh boy.
I love them. I absolutely love them.
Easily amused.
I kind of have a thing for children's toys, like antique-looking children's toys. So I absolutely went crazy when he gifted this to us. Oh, there's a smile underneath his beard. They painted a smile underneath his beard. That's a delightful surprise. Well, we talked about the wedding. We'll get into the honeymoon.
Yeah, let's get into the honeymoon. So, you want me to tell them everything, like, from the beginning before we left?
What happened before we left?
Like the day we left? You want me to tell that story?
The rental car.
Okay. I think we've been down this road before with rental cars on the last trip across the country for the couch. I think I made my opinions clear about Enterprise.
Enterprise!
I'll make it clear again. They need to start their own website.
Enterprise, sue me. I don't care. Your website
I'm suing you for the emotional distress.
That's right, PTSD from using your services.
Their website will allow you to book any vehicle for any day, any time, whatever you want. Okay, great.
And then they call you the day of.
No, they call you 10 minutes later and they say...
Oh, no, I booked that thing 3 months ago. They called us the day of that when we were supposed to leave.
For the first one.
An hour or two before we were supposed to leave. And they said, sorry guys, the car that you actually booked is not available. Can we get another car for you? Oh, but by the way, we don't have anything close to it whatsoever.
Right,
Thanks.
So there was 5 bookings. That was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That one was reserved for months and months and months. After that, we got on the internet and we booked
frantically.
One. Said, oh great, we just booked what we wanted. Like 10 minutes later, phone rang. Yes, we don't have that available. Okay. Do you have another location? So he's on his computer. Oh yeah, they got one, up towards St. Louis. Yeah, I'll mark you down. So we get marked down for that. 10 minutes later, the other location calls us. Yeah, we don't have anything. We can't get nothing for 3 more days for what you're looking for. It's like, what in the world? We gotta get out of here.
We have hotels booked already.
And we ain't figured it out yet. So we get back on the internet again, pick another one. We tried to pick a different type of vehicle this time. We tried to go smaller. We were trying to get like a Tahoe, like a full-size SUV. So we go a little bit smaller this time. 10 minutes later, the phone rings again. yeah, we can't get that. We don't have anything. And then on the 5th try, we figured it out. We're like, wait a minute. This website is not saying any. I tested it. I went and clicked multiple things. Everything was available. And then I called NAS and said, no, none of it's available. So I said, okay, let's call the first place that we started with. So we called them and we just said, what do you have? And they said, we have a minivan. We said, oh, well, it's not the most sexiest thing, but sure, that's got, you know, cargo space. We can go with that. Let's do it.
By the way,
is it really there, physically there, and ready to go? They said yes, it'll be ready in an hour. I said, we'll be there.
We wanted a big car because of anticipating that we were going to do some hardcore antique shopping over in Virginia, which we did.
We were hoping to find a dining table.
We didn't, but...
Nope. So we go to pick up this minivan. We pull up. It's like this milk gray color. It's ugly. It's ugly. I don't know how else to describe it.
Oh my god.
It's like a pale, flat gray color.
It's an electric van.
It's an electric van. And it's got California license plates on it.
We have no experience.
If you know
with
anything
it.
about a Missouri backwoods country boy, he ain't driving no minivan with California plates that happens to be an electric vehicle. Ain't gonna happen.
You drive a stick shift 1984 Chevy
I drive
Silverado.
a gas hog, guzzling, no smog protection, spin the wheels, burn the tires, whatever. I love it.
Where's the American flag at?
I don't know, but I need it.
I want to just like wave an American flag.
There's only supposed to be one visible. Wait, there's an insignia, but whatever. Anyways.
American flag.
Proud to be American. Anyways, it pulls right up next to this other minivan. It looks pretty cool, actually. This other minivan's like all blacked out, and it's 100% gas. And it's got like Texas license plates on it.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, cool, I guess we're getting the Texas one, you know? I figured this electric hybrid stuff would be like special order or special request. No. He gives us the keys to that one. All of a sudden, Justine starts protesting. She's like, can I get the other one? Because this one's got California plates. And I'm just thinking, that's not even the worst part. The electric is the worst part. It's electric.
But okay, so we get this thing, we're driving. By the way, it's pouring down rain the first 2 days of our honeymoon.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
Apparently, the wipers on these new vans don't have a manual control.
Everything is computerized in these new cars.
It does have a manual control, but it wouldn't let me use it.
Mish Mish!
Hey, where are you going? Come here. You want to say hi?
Mish Mish. We have a screen in the window to keep the flies out. That's the only way we can have the window open, but we don't want him to mess it up.
So anyways, like I was saying, the wipers were set to some kind of automatic sensor to where the dial was not working. And it's like raining. And the sensor didn't work. So it was very stressful. So finally, we had to pull over because you can't apparently touch the buttons. You can't use the stupid setting buttons, but you can turn and mess with the radio stations. Makes no sense.
It won't let you do it while you're driving for safety reasons. It was all touch screen.
And then, if I want to go like 5 miles over the speed limit, it was going beep, 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 beep.
Warning you.
And then on the screen it says, exceeding speed limit.
Self-destruct initiated.
What is this thing? It's like communism on wheels. Jeez, come on. I just want to get to my destination and have a good time. I want analog. I want roll-up. Well, actually, my windows aren't roll-ups. They're electric. But anyways, they're old school electric. It doesn't beep at you. It doesn't talk back.
Our Jeep is still
the Jeep is hand crank, yeah. But anyways, we finally make it to... Okay, whatever. Anyways, we go to Washington, D.C. We go to Washington, D.C., and it is jam-packed. We stay maybe 3 hours... Well, he's gone now, but anyways. We go to the Smithsonian, we stay there for like 3 hours, we're checking it out, and it's like, okay, this is just crazy because there's so many field trips. So we go back to the hotel that I booked a couple months prior, and when we get there, it does not look anything like the pictures looked like.
We're supposed to be there for 4 days.
We're supposed to be there for 4 days.
Yeah.
And there's blood on the wall, there's mold, the door is rusty. We are on the end of the hotel where it outlooks a lower level with a bunch of AC units and stuff. And
that's the only window in the entire hotel room, and the view is of the roof with the AC unit.
It was horrible, and it was unacceptable. So I'm sitting there depressed, trying to think, what do I do? What do I do? And Justine's already on her computer or her phone because she was behind me, and she's like already booked the place. She's like, Ron, we're we're getting out of here, get your stuff.
We're going to Virginia.
So we spent a half hour at the hotel, and then we got out, and we never went back to D.C.
We couldn't get a refund for the room. The guy said no refunds, so we
Yeah.
just lost 4 days of hotel, unfortunately.
Yeah. But we did go to Richmond. We found a really nice Victorian place there that was turned into a suites. And we stayed there for 4 days, I believe.
When Ron picks the hotel room versus when Justine picks the hotel room. Who is going to be picking the hotel rooms in the future, Ron?
Well, we'll see.
You're out of your mind!
I had good intentions.
There was blood on the wall!
It didn't advertise that.
That never does! It never advertises that. Virginia was amazing.
So after we spent a few days in Richmond, we went to Mount Vernon, we went to Monticello, we went to the Wilton House, we went to the Shirley Plantation, we went to the Berkeley Plantation, all up and down the James River, seeing all these beautiful houses, toured them, took pictures of everything that we wanted to put in our house. So it was like a reconnaissance mission is what it was like.
We love historic architecture.
Yes, but Mount Vernon was our most favorite place that we went to. The staff there were amazing. They knew that we were coming. They graciously rolled out the red carpet for us, chauffeured us around in their little 6-person golf cart so we didn't have to walk 5 miles. So that place is huge. And it was awesome to be there. Once again, very crowded place. So if you're going to go, I would suggest going in the wintertime whenever it's freezing cold. Because they're open every day.
That's George Washington's house, by the way. For those,
yes.
Maybe some of you guys aren't from the United States watching, you might not know that.
Mm-hmm. The founder of our, number one founder of our country and first president of the United States, George Washington. That's where he lived, Mount Vernon.
They gave us a pretty amazing experience. Again, it was all filmed for the Believe Plus documentary.
Yeah. We got to meet a few of the interpreters that were there. They were awesome. They surprisingly had ice cream set up. An ice cream demonstration for us to help on.
Because they knew how much I love making ice cream.
Yes, but the lady did make it for us, so that was nice.
That was nice. And they also made chicken curry. These are from historical receipts, so we got to make that with them. We went fishing in the Potomac River.
Yes.
2 of us caught catfish. Ron got a snail.
I caught a big old snail like this big.
Hey, snail tastes good if you're French, so it's okay. And we took a tractor hayride around and
it's obviously not period correct, but they saved us a lot of walking. They chauffeured us around on the hay wagon. I think they use that hay wagon for either school groups or like some kind of wine event, because they have all kinds of events there for non-historical purposes. But it was awesome to be chauffeured and wined and dined, if you will. We got to eat at the restaurant there at Mount Vernon, which is very delicious, by the way.
Very good.
Very good food.
Very professionally run site.
And they have the best gift shop. Their
the
gift
best
shop is
I've
awesome.
ever been
It's
to.
a huge gift shop.
Yeah.
And they got a little bit of everything, whether it's novelty gifts, or it's historical items, or it's like, hi, I was here, and, just to say that you were somewhere, high, middle, and low scale gifts.
Right. Really, really good place. Very well run. Just an and of course we toured the house. The house is amazing too. It was one of the highlights of our trip. We'll be back. Yeah, I would be back.
From there, we went on to Colonial Williamsburg, which was very aesthetically pleasing and very, very hot. The heat snap, if you will, not a cold snap, but a heat snap happened, and it was 90 degrees when we were in Colonial Williamsburg, and it was pretty hot, but we had a good time. We went to the shops that were open and
toured all the houses, all the gardens.
And there was some beautiful stuff there.
Now, when Ron and I went to Colonial Williamsburg, and I have only been there once when I was in the 6th grade. I went on a school trip. I'd like to think it made an impression on me. Kids, it's really hard to tell with the kids because you think that they hate it, you think they're bored, but then you plant that seed in their mind, and then maybe when they're 20-something, all of a sudden they love history. So don't give up on your kids. Ron has never been there before. Never. So we get there. We did not realize that this place is basically the Disneyland of the 18th century. Very, very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. So we go to a restaurant there, and the waiter comes up to us and he says, "Would you like still or bubbly water?" And Ron and I are looking at each other like, what is still water?
I didn't know what it was.
I didn't even know what still water was, but I thought, well, I don't like bubbly water. I know what that is. So I said, still water, please. He comes out of the ice chest with this like blue bottle of still water, and he pours it over his arm like this.
This is white glove service, by the way.
Literally white gloves.
Everybody else in there is wearing like a sports coat blazer, and they're talking about their yacht and stuff, and I'm sitting there in a t-shirt.
We're just looking, Ron and I are looking at each other, and we jokingly say, this is going to be a $150 dinner. Guess how much?
It was $163.
Oh, it was even more than we thought.
Before tip.
Yeah, Ron and I were thinking, oh my god.
Woo!
Oh my gosh, fetch the smelling salt.
Yeah, I can't sustain that every night.
No.
Thankfully, we only went there one night. But then again, the other places were just as expensive. They were like...
They're the same
They were
price.
like $15 cheaper because we started ordering less things.
Entrees were always about $40 to $50 at Colonial Williamsburg. So when you go there, for 2 people, it's going to be minimum $100. And that's like the cheapest possible picks.
It was like $30 for us to have the coffee and tea, and we had some kind of little snack. I forgot what it was. But anyways, yeah, it's very expensive.
Oh, and then the next day after this, Ron and I were saying, where are we going to eat breakfast at? So just jokingly, we looked at the menu for this same restaurant that was $106 dollars. The breakfast, the avocado toast was $40.
No, it was $29. The omelet was $40.
How is avocado toast $29? Omelet $40?
It must be the best avocado toast ever, but I wasn't gonna find out.
So they put truffles on it.
So we didn't go there.
No.
Thankfully,
we went to Cracker Barrel.
Our good friends Scott and Jill gave us a whole booklet of Cracker Barrel gift cards
as a wedding
gift on this. Yeah, as a wedding gift to use on our honeymoon, and lots of other of you guys have sent us Cracker Barrel gift cards, so we are good to go on Cracker Barrel gift cards. So we went there for breakfast every day.
Every day. Yes. We went to Cracker Barrel every single day.
There was one 5 miles up the road, and so it was perfect.
And actually, there's one of you guys that's watching right now, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck.
We ate Cracker Barrel with him.
We did.
That was our first time meeting Chuck. He's a fan of the show, and he always watches and he comments, and he lives in Virginia, the Virginia Beach area.
Yep, he's a pastor over there.
Yeah, he said, would you like to meet up during your honeymoon? And normally we would say no, because it's our honeymoon. But for Chuck, we had to make exceptions.
Yes.
Went to Cracker Barrel. Chuck's a very nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
It won't be the last time. We'll see him again. I think he's going to come through here sometime. Yeah. He likes to travel, it sounds like.
And I think Ron and I will be back to Virginia because we had an amazing time in Virginia.
We definitely will. We'll save our pennies. And we'll plan a trip with our friends, probably Anna, Ethan, or David and Ashley or something. That way so we can split the bill. Even the rooms are expensive. Our cottages, I should say. And we got the smallest one, and it was expensive. So maybe we can split one of the houses next time. That'd be cool.
We got the smallest cottage at Williamsburg. It had plumbing issues. We could only take a shower one time while we were there, unfortunately, because of that. But we still had a really, really good time. It was great.
It was great. Yeah. Excellent service. So after that, where'd we go? We went to...
Kentucky?
Kentucky, yeah. We came back through Kentucky and we hit Louisville. You guys know that we've talked about Louisville, Kentucky before. They have some of the best antique malls there. We've got some of the oldest things that we own from Louisville, Kentucky.
Surprisingly.
I think it's because of the demographic there. There's a lot of horse racing. There's a lot of rich people there. Those older rich people like really nice stuff. And unfortunately, whenever they've gone and passed, our kids don't want anything to do with it, so it ends up in places like the antique malls.
Right. And it's a little cheaper that way. But let me show you guys something that I found that we've actually been eyeing for a year now. Yeah,
last time we come through there, we found this stuff and there was no price tag. And this time, we couldn't find a price tag. And then we finally found it and it said X amount of dollars. And I thought, whoa, that's insane. And then you said, wait a minute, Ron. It says the whole set. Grab them and go.
Okay, so there's a lot here of, I think, 5 items I'm going to show you guys.
All right.
And, yeah, got it all from Kentucky. So it was priced as for the lot. The lot. And there was only 2 things in the lot that I actually even wanted. And the rest is just cool. I might just give it away to friends, but, you know.
Actually, I like that third thing there.
Okay.
The pitchfork's cool.
Well, firstly, let me show you the 2 items out of the lot that I actually wanted. And this is the main thing.
Now, these things are still dirty and dusty. Don't get over my apples.
Don't touch my apples.
So we gotta clean them. We haven't used them yet.
No, we haven't used them yet. Oh my gosh, there's like dust bunnies all over the side of this thing.
I know.
So what do you think this thing is?
What's the coffee go for?
It's a coffee roaster. I can't believe I found this in a random antique mall in Louisville, Kentucky. This is a antique, made for a hearth, coffee roaster. It was not labeled, but I knew what it was the moment that I saw it. You could use it to make popcorn too.
Oh yeah.
It's all iron. And it is attached to this spit, and the end of it is pretty dang sharp. Now, my theory is, and I've seen so many different coffee roast designs from the 18th century. This is an original piece. I think that this goes on your rotisserie, front of your hearth, and there's all this empty space here. This doesn't move. I can't slide it on it. So you can put your meat, your breakfast meat here, and roast that too. And you just spin this around, and it roasts your coffee. Pretty cool, huh? The Bolduc House, they have an original coffee roaster too. It doesn't look like this with the spit on it. It's the same cylinder shape, but it has legs on it.
So it sits there, so you have to crank it.
Right.
It's about the same size cylinder, but it's on a little stand.
Americans take their coffee very seriously.
Yes, we do.
And they have been for many, many years. So there's a lot of different coffee roasting designs from the 18th and early 19th century. So that was really the main thing in the lot that I wanted. But it came with all this extra stuff. Now let me show you the second coolest thing. And to be honest, I think this might be the most valuable, money-wise, in the lot. What in the world is this, guys?
It's a peel.
It's a peel. Yeah, believe it or not, the name for this is a peel, like a lemon peel. So what in the world is it? Okay, so when you... Whoa, it's pretty heavy. Yeah, watch out. So a lot of 18th and early 19th century houses had something built into the kitchen wall called a beehive oven. They go very far back into the room. I mean, they are like 5 feet deep. Easily. Some are even deeper than that. Like, you could lay a full-grown human being in there. And so how do you get the bread that's all the way in the back of that oven out? You use a peel. Why they call it a peel, I don't know. But keep in mind, English has changed significantly. So a peel today is not the same thing as a peel was 200 years ago. I think this might be the most valuable item that was in the lot. Now, I can tell just from the work right here that this is probably an 18th century peel. Or it could be early 19th century. This is worth a lot of money. I did not pay a lot of money for it.
No.
No. And it came with a couple of other really random things.
Now, the next cool thing is the pitchfork.
Okay,
we're keeping that.
You want me to talk about the pitchfork? Ron is obsessed
just show it. Yeah, that's cool looking.
I look like a devil. How old this pitchfork is, I have absolutely no clue.
Well, it's probably all the same age. The head's on.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, never mind. It's not the same there.
Yeah, this could be from the 20th century.
But anyways,
or it could be older.
That'll work good in the fire.
This is a pretty cool pitchfork. It has a little puller thing.
You can push and pull.
Yeah, you can pull the log towards you with that.
Yeah.
Ron wants the pitchfork.
Please.
You can keep the pitchfork.
Man, I'm just sitting here melting.
It's hot in here.
I know.
Okay, another thing that came in the lot, you all know what this is by this point. We have a ridiculous amount of these now.
Yeah, waffle iron.
This is a waffle iron. It's always fun to see the designs on all the different waffle irons. This one's pretty basic. It's just regular. You know, just regular grid waffle iron. Sometimes they have really pretty designs. They could be a wafer iron in that case. But it actually does have the maker's, the logo on it. It says Shatman. Shatman? I'm the Shatman.
That's the scat man.
Do you think that's what it says?
Yeah, that's what it says.
I have to do research about that, and from that I can figure out how old it is. It could be Civil War era. Could be earlier, I don't know, but I have to look up what or is it Shatham?
I don't know.
Anyway, we got another waffle iron just because it came with the coffee roaster that I wanted.
Start handing them out for Christmas stocking
Now, who
stuffers.
wants this? Because I don't want this, but it came with a lot.
This grabber thing. I think.
What in the world is this thing? This is like some homemade DIY.
I think it's broken. There's supposed to be a pin somewhere because these are supposed to open and close. Let me show you. Well,
I guess it's a log puller thingy.
Supposed to. Maybe just need some oil.
It's scary. It's a little scary.
I got you. Okay. Get your hand up. So anyways, yeah, that's a very weird...
That's weird. It just came with it. It's probably from the 1970s. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next friend...
It's not that cool.
It's not that cool. The next friend that I see, I'm just going to throw this at them and be like, take it! I don't want it! Get it out of here! Whatever it is, before it hurts somebody. But the coffee roaster and the peel, pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey.
And,
go ahead.
Oh, I got one more thing to show you guys.
All right.
One more totally unrelated thing, even though it's still metal.
You got ant on you. Got him.
That was a little unnecessarily hard for an ant, don't you think?
I killed him. It even made blood.
Yeah, that's my blood.
By the way, when we left, we've been gone for almost a month. This place was overtaken by ants.
We gotta figure this out.
And cicadas, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. So what's your one more thing?
Okay, so the last antique thing I'm going to show you guys, by the way, there's way more than this, but I kind of want to gradually show it to you over the next couple of months. Surprise! But the next one I'm willing to show you all.
Oh boy.
Okay, so a couple months ago, I lost an auction for something really, really cool. If anyone knows me in person, they know I'm an antique hoarder, just like my dad. It's hereditary. And I have a soft spot for Americana, American folk art. 18th and 19th century American folk art. I lost this auction for a early 19th century steel chicken rooster cutout thing that was on the wall, and it hangs like spoons and spatulas from it. This is early 19th century. I thought it was the cutest antique I've ever seen.
It was cute, but it wasn't worth $400.
It ended up going for $400, which is way too expensive. I could not afford it, and I was pretty heartbroken. Bedridden, couldn't eat for weeks, no. But I was pretty sad about it. And I was even telling Ron, can you make me something like this? It's so cute. But then, I found this on our honeymoon.
Here, allow me to hold it.
Okay, we're browsing the antique store. I see these hanging on the wall. Everyone else would just walk by. I'll admit, these were $100.
For the pair.
For the pair.
That's better than one chicky thing for $400.
That's true. So people would just walk by and look at the price and probably think, $100 for these old steel chicky things? These sconces? I'm not spending that much money on these chicky things. And just walk away. But not Justine. I walk by him. I'm like, beep, beep, beep. What's that? I take a look at it. These aren't just regular chicky things. This is early 1800s American folk art. I got a steal of a deal. Not only did I not get one thing, I got two things. And I can tell they're very old because they're riveted on. It's riveted.
It's not welded.
It's not welded. It's non-stainless steel, which is why it's discolored so bad. And it looks exactly like the early 1800s steel chicky that I lost at auction. So chickens were everywhere in early American folk art. I don't know why. Why not? It's cute.
They're charming.
They're charming. They're cute. It's got that farm look to it. So got these. We're going to put them in our new summer kitchen.
You know what I liked best is they were smart enough to flip the one chicken around so they weren't both facing the same way.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
That's a high quality product right there.
$100 might seem like a lot for this, but if it's worth anything like the other one was, I think this might be worth 3 to 4 times what I paid for it. Not that I'm ever selling it because they're so cute. Now, speaking of the summer kitchen, Ron, what do you want to say about that?
Well, for the summer kitchen, as you guys know, we just got married, and we're still here in the cabin. We're going to be here in the cabin until fall time, probably, because we're not even ready with our house yet. So, unfortunately, we're not able to move into our house right after we got married. That was a great goal, but it's also why I don't make goals public sometimes, because then the pressure's on to you and you look like a fool when you don't get it done. So, truth is, we're going to stay at my mom's house for the summer until we get our house buttoned up a little bit on the inside. We've got to do the insulation and the drywall and the wiring and the septic, so that's to be done. And then we've got to get a roof put on the barn so we can put the solar up so we can power the house. Then we will move into the house, and then at that point we will move on to building the summer kitchen. So hopefully, don't hold me to it, hopefully by Halloween we'll be in the new summer kitchen. But we'll see what happens. So that's just what to expect right now.
So we'll be filming here until then.
Absolutely. So, my weird history fact, the cicadas have come.
Wait. This week's weirdest history fact. Go. I am Mrs. Rayfield. Go.
Okay, so everybody knows the cicadas has happened. The cicadaness, or the
cicada apocalypse.
Yes.
Everyone's been talking about it.
The cicada lips has happened. They're gross, they're nasty, they're everywhere.
They have red eyes.
Now, I could not find a reference to, like, was there a famine or you know, did the cicadas do something really bad in history? But I did find that the locusts terrorized here in the United States in 1874. It is listed as one of the worst infestations for locusts as far as history goes in the United States. That over $200 million of crops were destroyed. The wool off of the backs of sheep were eaten. People's clothes were eaten.
Oh my goodness.
Their houses were eaten. Like their curtains, their carpets, their rugs, their clothes. Even their food that was put into storage was eaten. Everything but water was eaten. Plants were eaten. Trees were eaten. Leaves were eaten.
I shouldn't be laughing, but it sounds like something from an old cartoon where you just see a wave of black come across and then all their clothes are gone.
That's what happened pretty much.
Wow.
This happened in parts of Missouri, on to Kansas, the Dakotas, and Nebraska, all up to Montana, and touching into Canada, I believe. So it happened in the Great Plains, Midwest Great Plains area, and on up north, all the way over to Wyoming as well. It was one of the most worst infestations in U.S. history, that even the U.S. Army had to give out clothing, give out food for the following year.
Didn't they say that the skies were darkened because of them?
The skies were dark for 6 hours at a time for over 2 million square miles because there were so many locusts. It was insane.
Wow.
Basically, run for your life.
How do you wrap your mind around that?
They could probably eat you. And speaking of that, the farmers actually started eating them because there was no food to eat. So they started eating locusts.
Good source of protein.
I don't know how they cooked them. I didn't have that much time to look that up. But they ate them. They consumed them. They put them in their bodies and chewed them up.
That's what happens with food, yes. So, well, I'm not complaining about the cicadas anymore after hearing about that.
No, because that's what they made it sound like on the news, like, oh, the cicadas are coming. I mean, yeah, they're very annoying and they're nasty and all that, but it was nothing like what I just described to you.
Hide your children, hide your wife, the cicadas are coming.
And very thankful that it was nothing like that, but they are disgusting things.
They're nasty, they're just noisy.
They're big, and they
fly
on you.
But they don't actually hurt you.
No, but they do leave their nasty little, like, shells everywhere. There were some shells in here. Somehow they got in here, too, whenever we were gone.
We can't leave this place.
It's going to take over. The vines are going to start growing.
The jungle is moving in.
The jungle will close in on it.
Right.
So, anyways, that is my weird history fact, is that happened in U.S. history in 1874.
So bad that the military had to step in and provide aid.
Yes.
Wow.
It was a bad deal. I mean, they're destroying your crops, so there goes your food. Mm-hmm. At that point in time, there's still no supermarket. You know, there's still no paved roads. There's still no... I mean, I guess there's Morse code in 1874, but there's no telephone. You can't call for help immediately. Mm-hmm. Everything just gets eaten by pests.
Even if you did have telephones, the locusts would eat them.
They probably would.
They eat the wires. Sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a horror movie based off of locusts.
They've made a horror movie about literally everything by this point, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
They have.
Well, hey, I think we're going to hop off here. This has been the longest human chat that I'm aware of. I'm sure we're forgetting something. So let me just say this. Thank you to everybody who was involved in our lives over the past month, especially this past month, because it's been the greatest month of our lives. We're truly thankful, and you guys really mean a lot to us and everything you've done for us, whether it's just a thank you card or showing up and helping in person. It means the world to us. So
we missed you guys.
We missed you guys. I don't miss this heat in here. It's hot. So...
we need to get out of here.
I know, so we're going to get out of here. So we love you guys. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
I need a banana split and get out of here.
That sounds good.
See you guys another time. We love you.
Bye-bye.